Hello, hello everyone. Today I will be making quite a different video than I usually do. I'm going to be reviewing an episode of Thomas and Friends, the episode Heart of Gold. Now, this episode comes from season 23, the Big World Big Adventures era, where they removed Edward and Henry, and that is really annoying, but I'll talk about it. It was actually written by one of the good writers during that era, Michael White, who wrote all of the good episodes from the Big World era. I do really like this episode. It's very nice to see, and I can't believe it took so long for this episode to, be written. Because Toby always felt like an oddball in the Big World era, since he didn't have a spotlight role, yet he was still included in the roll call song, which was kind of odd. It was kind of odd to me, so I did that. So here's how it will work. I'm going to review the episode, talk about what was good in it, talk about what was bad in it, and then try to fix the episode. And by fix it, I mean give slight rewrites to it. And that's basically how this will work. So, if you enjoy this, then you enjoy it. I don't know. Step 1. Watching the episode.
Really?
Alright, so I'm back from watching the episode, and it's fine. It's not bad. It's probably one of the best of the Big World era. But I wouldn't say that it's amazing. Like, there is a lot of tweaking you could do to this episode. If I was to, rank the episode right now, it would be a solid 5 out of 10. Maybe 6 out of 10, if we're being generous, but this doesn't fit. Toby does not feel like Toby at all. If only we had the classic era Toby here, he would not care about any of the problems I'm about to bring up. Let's get on to Part 2. Part 2. The plot. The plot of this episode is that Toby goes up to Ulfstead Castle, and because Stephen is being mended at the Steamworks. Stephen is the character associated with the castle. On his way there, Diesel insults Toby, saying, "Are you going to be put on display, Toby?" Making Toby have a bit of doubt. Sir Robert does... Fuck, I can't speak today. Sir Robert does... How can I not say this? Sir Robert consoles him and says that he's not going to put him in a museum. Okay, I finally got it out. However, while on the trip, 2 passengers are constantly making fun of Toby. They're saying that, he doesn't even look like an engine, he's just a garden shed. He can be useful for storing my golf clubs in. And this really gets to Toby, because, I don't know, he is probably a bit worried about being put on display. Because if you think about it, being put on display is probably worse than being scrapped in this universe, because, as we know, the engines can't die from natural causes. They can only die by getting scrapped. Meaning if you sit in a museum, you will eventually rust and rust until you die from old age or something. But yeah, anyway, let's forget about that. While on the train, on board, there are 2 suspicious people. That's what the wiki calls them, not me. I'm not. They call them the 2 suspicious people. They notice a old pump trolley just laying off to the side of the tracks. Yeah, I don't know how, but okay. Then that night, Toby is whining to Millie and Glyn. These are characters that also live at the castle, mind you, and get some sleep. However, Toby isn't sleeping. He closes his eyes, but the thoughts of what people have said are affecting him, a lot. And so he doesn't sleep, and then he wakes up hearing the sound of breaking glass. Toby's like, "What the fuck was that?" And goes out, and there he sees the pump trolley. He's like, "Why the fuck is the pump trolley there?" And then he sees these 2 people running out the castle with King Godred's crown. Toby pursues the two thieves. And it's very, I guess I could say, climactic with Toby. Because we get all these different shots of Toby. We get the inside of his cab showing his speedometer, whatever it's called, the speed thingy going up, reaching its max capacity. We see a low shot of the Toby running over the rails. It's very, very shot well, I can say. The only part about this that I do not like is the fact that Toby literally goes on his side to avoid a crowbar. It's a crowbar, Toby. You can run over a crowbar. If this was classic Toby, he would have just plowed right through it. But anyway, because of this, and the fact that the guys that are on the pump trolley switch the points, he loses them, only for these dumb, stupid, moronic thieves to accidentally activate one of the attractions. A robotic dinosaur. Animatronic dinosaur, but whatever. This alerts Toby, and then he's like, oh, we gotta go get them. And while the thieves are running away from the animatronic, Toby gets them, finds them, and so Toby's driver and fireman run out and hold them. Hold the thieves! And then I guess the other guys come over. Anyway, next morning, everything's fine and dandy. The two pieces of shit passengers that made fun of Toby are like, yeah, we like you now. We like you. We're sorry for what we said and all that junk. Please forgive us. And then on the way out, Diesel comes back for some reason at the end of the episode, and he drops probably the best line in the entire episode. And yeah, that's the plot. I just realized I accidentally put the plot and the thing in the same thing, and the plot and the ranting in the same thing, but it's fine. So, yeah. Now on to step 3. Part 3. The rewrite. Now, I kind of already have a little plan for this rewrite. I was planning this for quite a while, thinking of how, if I had made the episode, what changes? Now, I'm going to leave most of it the same, but we're going to bring back classic Toby, since this version of Toby would not care what two people think of him. He would roll his eyes, whoosh some steam at them, get them all wet, and that's it. Now, I'll just go through the rewrite. One morning, Toby was asked to go to Ulstead Castle to help out while Stephen was at the steamworks for repairs. He had a nasty accident, and by nasty, I meant he fell in the moat again while backing up. Toby coupled up to Stephen's coaches. Diesel would pass and say, "Hello, Toby, are you being put on display?" Toby would roll his eyes at Diesel and probably say something back saying, "I don't know, Diesel, at least one of us would be seen as important." Diesel would scoff and drive away. Two rude passengers, I'll just call them the rude passengers because I don't feel like giving them names, would talk behind Toby's back saying, "He doesn't even look like an engine. He looks like he belongs in a museum. Good thing he's at a castle then. Maybe they'll add him as one of the exhibits." Toby would roll his eyes. He's more worried about Henrietta back at home on Farquhar Branch Line. Wait, no, let me reread that. He's more worried about his coach, Henrietta. Hopefully no other engines take her while he's away. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's the first... Oh, damn it. I need to read this script better, sorry. But yeah, those two passengers who we'll just keep as the suspicious passengers board Toby's train. Or passenger train or whatever. On the ride, they spot an old pump trolley and get an idea. "That you don't see one of those every day," one of them says. "Quiet, you nincompoop," the other whispers. "We can use that when we take that crown." Of course, nobody hears him. So Yeah, plot. Sorry, yeah. I'm not really good at this, but you're gonna have to deal with it. Anyway, during the ride, blah blah blah, they stop. Everyone gets off to go inside the castle to look at the crown. Toby goes to do a bit of goods work around the around as Millie has just come back with some slate that was delivered from the Blue Mountain Quarry. Toby shuns them and gets to work all day and does one more tour of the grounds. Since I think it's ridiculous that we only saw one of those tour ground guides things, but whatever. That night, Toby goes to shut the cars away since Millie is too tired and Glyn had already fallen asleep hours prior. While he's shunting them back, he goes down the exhibition line. On his way, he notices that pump trolley that was in the siding earlier has disappeared. That's odd, says Toby. I could have sworn there was a pump trolley here this morning. Toby brushes off. Maybe they all moved it. Then he sees the pump. When he gets to the shed, he goes on the turntable to turn around to get into the berth. And then he notices something. The pump trolley is strangely at the steps to the castle gates. Wait, not the gates. The castle doors. Damn it. Toby's confused. Why would the pump trolley be there? The Earl has a car, after all. If he really needed to get back to the castle quickly, he could drive. Heck, I'm pretty sure. That's odd, says Toby. Toby doesn't go to sleep immediately, and then he hears glass shatter. Toby is shocked as he sees two men running out with King Godric's crown. Thieves! Toby says as he rings his bell. Come back with that crown! The thieves are shocked. They thought all the engines would be asleep, especially old engines like Toby. They get on the pump trolley and start pumping the... Pumping? I don't know how to say this. God damn it, I should have read through the script before. Toby chases after them. He's gaining on us! Quick! Throw it quickly! Get rid of some weight! One of the men throw a crowbar. It lands directly in the line. Toby, having no other choice, rams into it full stop. It damages his front cowcatcher. But Toby isn't worried. He wants to stop these people. He wants to stop them before King Godric's crown is lost forever again. One of the men switches the points. Toby has to stop or he'll derail. Toby stops just in time, but the men have gotten away. Oh, bother, says Toby, as he slowly has to re-steam up. The men, who are now far away, they dish the pump trolley. This won't be any use to us now. The castle gates are closed. As the men, they go into an exhibit area. These exhibit areas are giant. They won't find us for hours. Maybe we can wait it out until morning. That is until they accidentally step on the button. The button activates the dinosaur animatronic. Toby now knows where they are. As Toby steams towards them, the men run out trying to find a new place to hide. However, in the dark, they run the wrong way. Right back to where they were. Toby catches up. His driver and firemen come out and start fist fighting the thieves. Millie and Glyn come with the Sir Robert Norramby riding on Glyn's cab. Cab? Would you call this a cab? I mean, there's no roof, so maybe it's just like a platform? I'm not going to think too much about it. The men, now out cold after Toby's driver and firemen quite literally beat them unconscious, takes the crown back. The next morning, announces that thanks to Toby's efforts, the crown is saved, and it could have been lost forever if Toby had not stepped in. All of the engines are proud and happy. However, Diesel comes in saying, "Wow, Toby! Looks like you really did do it. Maybe they'll look after you when you're put on display later. Toby scoffs. Well, Diesel. No, wait, no. Oh, wait, no, that's Millie's line. That's Millie's line. Well, Diesel, it just goes to show you can never judge a book by its cover. Silly steamies, I've never read a book in my life. Yes, I decided to keep that moment in from the original, because that's
Hot pursuit.
It just goes to show you should never judge a book by its cover.
Silly steamies, I've never read a book in my life.
Part 4. There is no part 4. I have to say, I know I could have handled this a lot better, but I'm not too upset about this rewrite. I definitely could have done some stuff better, like maybe reading through the script better and writing the script better, but it's fine, as this is my first time. In fact, I might do this again. Maybe suggest a couple episodes I should try to rewrite. To be honest though, if I am going to be rewriting another episode, it's probably going to be something easier to rewrite, like Fiery Flynn, but hey, if you have any suggestions for Thomas episodes I should try to rewrite, put them in the comments, I guess. This was a terrible rewrite. Why did I make this video? Bye.